What's happening, family? I hope everyone is well and blessed. Dr. Joe here, and want to welcome you all to this amazing conversation that we are having on tonight. I don't know where you're watching us from, wherever you are in the entire world, we welcome you guys here on this evening. Many of you watching are graduates from the 40-day turn up. Many of you guys are graduates from the journey process. Many of you just graduated. Many of you graduated months ago, years ago, or you're a person that's watching and you are looking forward to our next session. You're looking forward to our next time that the 40-day turn up kicks off, and we'll talk more about that. So we've got graduates, we've got people who are looking to be a part of this amazing village. But whoever you are, wherever you are, welcome you. And I'm so glad that you guys are here on this evening. We're having a very exciting conversation on tonight. Now, to those of you who graduated from the 40-day turn up, you know that a lot of times when we finish a process, the connectivity stops, but we have kept it going. And that's done by design as we prepare to launch Journey Life TV, which is going to bring valuable conversations, information to help edify your lives, your husbands, your wives, your sons, your daughters, your children, yourself, your household. It's all about knowledge. It's all about accountability. It's all about community. And we're preparing to launch that very soon. In the interim, we're having these conversations to keep you guys engaged and, just so we can continue on doing and being who and what we need to be. So I'm excited that we're here on today. I've got an amazing conversation. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about, and then I'm going to bring my guest on. Tonight is all about the men. It's all about the men, ladies. It's all about the men. Each one of these brothers that you are about to be exposed to are individuals who've not only graduated from the 40-day turn up, but they've been leaders in the 40-day turn up process. These are all guys that I respect them, have the utmost respect for each of them. They're men's men, and it just makes me feel great to be associated and affiliated with such awesome guys, and I think you guys will enjoy it. If you know of a brother, if you got a brother, a cousin, an uncle, a father, tell them to tune in, because it's all about men as relates to the 40-day turn up. So ladies, I think y'all are going to enjoy this, and brothers, I think you all are going to enjoy it as well. So I'm going to bring my guest on. I've got Mr. Enoch Berluch. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I've got Pastor Stephen Lomax. Pastor, how you doing?
I'm well, sir. How are you today?
All right. I've got Andre Goins. What's up, Andre?
Hey, sir. How you doing?
All right. And last and certainly not least, we got brother Paul Scott. Paul, how you feeling, my man? Undo your, you're on mute.
Fantastically well, sir.
Gotcha.
All right, great, man. All right, good to see you, brothers. And I'm excited about our conversation. So before we get started, gang, let's kind of go around, and I want each of you all to introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, so the people know you. Brother Enoch, we'll start with you.
I am Enoch Berluch. I'm from Easton, PA. I've been leading teams with Greater Charlotte Church for, I would say, close to 7 to 8 years, maybe. I work with people who have developmental disabilities, and doing this as coaching is what I do too.
Okay, awesome. That's what's up. All right, Pastor Stephen.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Reverend Stephen Lomax, Senior Pastor of Faith Fellowship Community Church in Berlin, New Jersey, celebrating 5 years this month. It's been a blessing to be a part of the 40-day turn up, and just to be a leader of this great group that just went through, the Ladies of Life Changers. So it's been a blessing.
Now, for 5 years, did you start that congregation?
The Faith Fellowship I'm at now, I did, yes.
Okay, and people have no clue how difficult of a feat that is. So congratulations.
Very. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. 5 years, that is amazing. Well, we wish you and your congregation much growth and success as you move forward.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. We got Brother Andre.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Andre Goins. I'm a transportation field coordinator of a school district in Cobb County. I'm also a professional photographer of 18 years. Yeah, about 18 years. This is my second time being a leader of this magnificent process, and I can't wait for the future. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. I'm telling you.
That's awesome, man. Well, what type of, in terms of a photographer, do you have a certain type of photography that you do?
Honestly, I specialize in weddings, but I'm a multi-genre photographer. Like I said, I've been doing it for 18 years. So I just God has blessed me with the talent of being able to do my photography, edit my own work. So I'm pretty self-sufficient in what I do. And I just love it. I've been doing it so long. It's almost like just second nature for me. Everything.
That's awesome, man. All right, and bringing up the rear, Brother Paul Scott.
Atlanta native, Marine Alpha, leader of men. Man Up was my group. My first time being a leader. I was trying to get that #1 spot.
We'll talk about that later, man.
Yeah, but born and raised in Atlanta.
All right, man. Well, that is awesome. I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad you guys are on with me. I'm excited about our conversation. So, to each of you who are watching, I want to tell you all how we've got this laid out. I've got 3 different segments. I've got something called individual, where I'm going to ask each of these brothers individual questions. So it won't be the same question. They'll each get a different question. The second segment I have is transformation, when I'm asking a specific question about something as them being, when they were leaders, about a certain participant. You guys hear more about that. And then the last one, I'm going to ask them a specific, what I'm calling man question. So we've got it broken into 3 different segments, and let's just jump right in. All right, Andre, I've got you first. All right, my man. Question: is this process, is the 40-day turn up good for men? And if so, why would you say so?
Wow. I mean, it's the perfect process for a man, you know, and it's not it's tailored to all men. It's really tailored to all men. But I always like to speak on personal. I'm a Black man, you know, so I was thinking about the 40 day, and I was thinking about how it relates to the everyday walk of life that we know us as Black men travel, you know, and there's a lot of things in this world that comes up against us that we cannot control, even though we want to. But this process right here, your health, is one thing that you must control and you can control. And now health is one of the things that take us out of here. You know, as a Black man, we face so many things, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. We go through so many different things. Then the stress of life, we go through so many things. So when you can mitigate that with good health and get that part of your life in order, why not? I mean, it's a win-win, it's a no-brainer.
That's what's up, man. Excellent answer. Okay, great. Brother Paul.
Yes.
Has this process helped you in other areas of your life? If so, how?
Yes, it has. One thing about the process, I used to do a lot of acting. I used to tried to do my singing, but I gained weight, and then I started to go into a shell because I didn't feel myself good looking enough to put myself out there. So I started going into a shell and shrinking into a shell. But since then, I have an outgoing spirit, and this has allowed me to be more outspoken. I got to a point where I did not like to sit in front of people and say, like this right here, wouldn't have happened.
Really?
But my close friends, yeah, I talked to them. But me just going in front of a group of people, I had sunk so far into myself that I did not want the world to really know who I was because my outside did not match my inside. So now that everything is coming together,
That's amazing, man.
like I feel so much better about myself.
I would never think that about you, you know, because ever since I've known you, you've been the outgoing Paul. But that's amazing, man. When did you notice the change?
I want to say when I started losing weight, because my job, I talk to people every day, but it's not a conversation about, it's just me walking into a person's office and doing the job and walking out. But now I get more into a conversation, and more into a weight loss conversation, more into you look good, you look young. Most people, again, they look at me, they think I'm some young kid. I'm 47 years old.
Right.
Most people think I'm young, like, who are you? And losing weight and all that, it helped bring me more out. And I can express myself, or I can have a conversation with anybody because my outside now matches my inside.
Now let me pause right there and talk to people who are watching, especially those of you who've never gone through the 4-day turn up. Paul brings up a great point. There's something about losing weight, and it's not just the pounds, but it's the transformation that you go through that untaps an energy well within yourself. Your swagger changes, your confidence changes, how you feel, because when you feel good in your clothes, you give off a different energy. And for those of you who've never come through the process, or if you're just looking to change your life, if you don't go through the 4-day turn up, don't miss out on that power well that you can bring yourself when you just work on you. Because what Paul has brought up is straight facts. So thank you, brother. Would you agree with that, brother Paul?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I agree with that. Okay. All right, brother Enoch, you're next, sir. Have you witnessed men bonding in this process since you've been a leader? And if so, is it different from how women bond?
Wow. All right. The men definitely bond during this process. When I was doing it with the church, I just led the team of men, and it was a lot easier for us to just connect and talk to each other because we were all there for the same reason. So there was no battle to be better than anybody else, other than, you know, I'm going to try to lose the most weight. It was a competition to see who could lose the most weight, but it was a lot easier to connect because the commonality was already there. We were all there for the same goal. We were all working to go ahead and do it. And then I would, you know, we see each other succeed. So, you know, in seeing somebody else lose more the following week, I'm chasing after them. I want to go ahead and beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the guys that you had on my team that presented Joe Robinson, right? He was one of my he was one of the people on my team. I was chasing Joe the whole entire time because Joe was always killing him in terms of losing the weight. But Joe's a solid guy. Anybody could talk to him. That personality that he has.
Great guy.
He is always he's just approachable. So having the men like that, it's good. I grew up with 5 sisters. So I'm going to say it's a whole lot easier for these men to bond together as we do this process, as opposed to teams of women working together. Because I've done both. I've done co-ed teams and I've done just men. The co-ed teams, you know, 2 might bond together well, and then the rest of them is just, you know, all right, whatever. But the men, I don't think it matters who you are or who you're paired with. You bond with everybody on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. It's something about the male spirit that is not better than, but just different than our sisters and females, and that's to be celebrated. The uniqueness of women should be celebrated. Absolutely. And the uniqueness of we as men should be celebrated. So that's awesome, sir. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, Pastor Lomax. Now, a lot of people don't know, sir, but you've lost 100 pounds, correct?
Yes, sir. 115.
Now that's 115. First of all,
115.
before I ask you the question, tell them where you started, sir, tell them where you are, and tell them how long it took. Wow.
I like to say I was a Twinkie short of 300 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Down to 282. 182, I'm sorry, not 2. 182.
Nice.
That's amazing, sir. And when did you start?
We started last year, I think July 5th was the first
That's
day.
amazing.
Because I'm a game changer. Just let y'all know right now. I'm a game changer.
Right,
We
right.
changing the game one day at a time.
Right. That's amazing, sir. 115 pounds. You have to feel like
Yes, sir.
a completely new man, person, husband, everything.
I feel absolutely amazing. I've had knee surgeries, tore my ACL, my meniscus. I have zero knee pain now at all. None.
Wow.
Zero.
Amazing.
Wow.
None.
I'm certain your preaching is different. I'm certain everything is different.
Absolutely. I actually told the church they messed up when they let me go through this program.
Right.
Y'all messed up now.
Can't tell you nothing now, right?
Messed up.
All right, I got a question. Now that you've lost 115 pounds,
Mhm.
how do people view or interact with you differently?
It's really funny because on one hand, you still got the haters that say you had to have surgery. You had to have a surgery. There's no way since July you could have lost that much weight. And I tell them absolutely not. It's natural. Change the way I eat and exercise. Once I brought in to the 40-day turn up, it was on and popping. Once I brought in 100%, everything, my mindset, everything changed. Everything.
Interesting. What made you buy in? At what point did you buy in? And I want to ask you guys that.
When I first got on the scale, when I originally started the turn up, I said 15, 20 pounds will be good in 40 days. I'll be fine. I lost 15 or 16 in the first 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Once I saw that weight start going off, I realized this is something that I could do. And I said, it's only 40 days. And I think my wife and I had went away on vacation. And we said, well, when we get back, let's work out twice a day. So we started walking twice a day. And the weight just started coming off. So I bought in and I just realized before we would go to the gym and work out and I'd lose 10 pounds, 5 pounds and put it right back on. But when I got in this turn up and realized that I could keep the weight off and I didn't miss anything that I was eating, I loved it. I loved it.
Excellent. Brothers, talk about that. Andre, when did you buy in? Was it from day one? Is it something when you came through? When did things change for you?
It was really, honestly, before we even started, just how inspirational your messages was to us. I felt like I know I'm older than you, but I said, golly, I got a young older brother, and it was honestly it was a lot to do with you and how you approached the process and how you just gave us all the information and the knowledge that we needed even before we actually started. And then having a good supporting cast around you. Now, understand what I'm saying when I say supporting cast. Sometimes your family is not necessarily your supporting cast. Sometimes it's other people that you have to attach to give you that strength that you're looking for. And not saying that family wasn't there, but sometimes you know what I mean. You need that. You need somebody who's doing the same thing that you're doing. People that's like-minded doing the same thing that you're doing. And basically that right there. And then when going to the doctors, I had high blood pressure. I had high blood pressure for 20 years. I'm 45. Okay. I had high blood pressure for 20 years. And on and off, I'm taking myself off of medication. And then I'm in this process for 2 weeks. And then my doctor telling me, hold up, we can get you off of this.
Wow.
And then
powerful.
When I get to the point where I'm not taking blood pressure medicine, and I haven't taken blood pressure medicine since last August, and my blood pressure is hovering around 110/69 right now, you gotta buy into it. Because you crazy if you don't. So
right.
Honestly, the medical aspect of it, just everything about the process, it was just all in from day. Just how it was, the way you designed it, the way you set it up in the beginning, how you gave us everything we needed. It was like, honestly, I thought you was like the male version of Cleo, because you knew everything that was going to happen. you knew everything that was going to happen before it happened. I was having a talk with one of my friends, right? Shout out to Phoenix, Tiffany. I was having a talk with her, and I was just telling her, I was like, man, like, I'm plateauing. Oh, don't worry about it. I think he's going to touch on that. And then you came back with it, and I was like, how? And it just blew my mind. So it was all in. It was all in, and it's still all in. It's still all in.
Great,
so,
man. Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Brother Paul, when did you buy in, sir?
I'll say the results. Like they said, that first week when I started losing weight, it was results. When my pants started getting too big for me, like I said, it wasn't about the weight. It was just about the size. My whole closet I had to throw away because everything was too big. That results is what made me buy in. And again, like he was saying, I like the bluntness of your conversation when you speak, and it's like no holding back. And it's like you say what need to be heard when it need to be heard. And that's and when I tell people about the process, I say just follow the process. Every question you have will be answered tomorrow. It's gonna come up and it's gonna be
Absolutely.
Just follow the process. I don't want to tell you nothing. I don't want to give you no. Follow the process. Right. Everything you think about, he's gonna answer it. And results. It gives you results.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because like what I'm so happy about is the fact that, you know, having lost 131 pounds, I've been there. You know, I know about plateaus. I know about cravings. You know, I know that, see, when a person is changing, the quicker you can give, or a person can get results in whatever they're doing. If they're working on their taxes, if they're working on their finances, if they're working on their weight, their health, if they're working on anything, what keeps people engaged, like you're saying, Paul, are results. If you're losing weight, nobody has time to take 2 and 3 months to lose 10 pounds. Nobody has time for that. Let's get it off now. Because when you get it off, like what Pastor Lomax said, you know, you're engaged. It's like, hey, I can do it. And you know what? That's what got me hooked. I started off with a competition with my brother. I dropped 30 pounds in like 6 weeks. I didn't even know what I was doing. And I said, well, if I can lose 30, I wonder can I lose 20 more? And the deeper I got into it, when I started to learn it and know what I was doing, and the weight was just effortlessly falling off. And when it, you know, like Andre, you know, dealing with hypertension for 20 years, and you can come in a process and get off medication in a couple of weeks. That's a godsend, you know. But you know what? That's what it's supposed to be, you know. Yeah. To be a man of God, for this to come out the local church, and people like you all are saying, "Hey, I'm losing weight, I'm getting healthy," you know. That's great. That's the pay. That is the pay, and that's great, man. So congratulations to each of you. So, Brother Enoch, take up the rear in this before we go to the next segment, sir. And that is, let me ask again for clarity. When did you buy in the process? First of all, tell the people when you originally went through. And when did you buy in personally?
I first went in when my wife was pregnant with my first kid, my first son. And back then we were meeting, you know, we were meeting virtually, but it was an hour once a week, and that was it. So it wasn't what we're doing now.
Right.
So I would eat my meals while we were at the hospital and everything else. The buy-in, just like everybody said, is the results were almost immediate. The detox, once you got done with the detox, you already lost 5, 6 pounds, 7 pounds, depending on what it was, automatic. And then each week you just kept on losing. It's hard to argue with results. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the process to me is simple. It's not hard. If I'm honest, the very first time I did it, I barely exercised. The only exercise I did was when I was doing my rounds at work. So it didn't feel like exercise, but I lost a good 30, 40 pounds that first go around. You know what I mean? So, and then if you get off it, you mess around for a month or two, you realize I'm messing up. I need to get back on the process. The second you get back on that process, you start losing the results again. So it's not, I got lucky one time. You know what I mean?
Right,
as long as you stick to the process, you'll get those results. And if that's not buy-in, I don't know what is. It's you proving yourself over and over again. And as coaching, each session that we do this with the people that actually stick to the process, you see it again and again and again. So it's
right. Awesome. Okay. All right, gang, we're going to move to part 2, and this was what I'm calling transformation. And I'm going to add, this is the same question for each of you, because each of you not only have been participants, but you guys have been leaders. So what I want to know, I'm going to start with you, Pastor Stephen. What person changed the most when they came through the process while you were their leader? Now, if you don't want to mention their name, fine. If you want to say their name, fine. But just give us a scenario of the biggest transformation that you saw. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest loser, but whatever you feel was the biggest transformation that you saw as leader. Pastor Lomax.
I would say, and I don't mind saying the names, and preferably they don't mind either, but I actually had 2. One was Chonica Brown, and the other was Stacey Wiles. Just watching where they started weight-wise, and then each week the progression to want to lose the weight. And again, when they bought into the group, it was amazing. Now, I was blessed. I had all women in this group. I kind of think I'm being set up too, Dr. Joe. I want you to know that, because when I came through the 40-day, I was the only male in the group. I said, and now this group is all women. I think the fix is in. But great group. But these 2, one lost the total amount, and the other one lost the total percentage. But these 2 both brought in to the process. They asked questions, and they were on every single meeting. So it was just shout out to them. They were incredible, and to this day, they still post in the group. Everybody in our group that just graduated, the Transformers, we still communicate in our group. So these 2 ladies were good.
Powerful. Andre, question for you, sir. Same question.
I would say now, because I don't want to get beat up in the mall when I see everybody, so I'm just going to say so in my last group, which is Warriors of Faith, and also I had the Kingsmen in this group right here. Everyone has been amazing, so it was kind of hard for me to pick. But I would say the one that stood out to me probably was Carl Copeland, from the Kingsmen. I felt like from day one, he recognized what his issues was, and every week he strived to try to correct those things, and everybody did the same thing. So so I'm not putting one above the other. It's just that when Carl Copeland went out to the mountain, and everybody in Georgia know what the mountain is. That man went out to the mountain and went to the top of the mountain, and I was impressed with that. I was really impressed with that. I feel like he exemplified.
We're losing.
I guess I thought it was me.
Yeah, I think
like
pros on
everything. Okay, I thought it was me. I'm sorry. But the show got to keep on. So I'm like, okay, do I need to keep talking? Okay, go ahead. Okay,
no, you
so
good.
yeah, so no, like I said, everybody did an amazing job. I've been blessed to have like 2 great groups. Like I've been blessed. Thank you, Dr. Joe. I've been blessed to have two great groups. I would just say this man stood out to me. And like I said, I got him up right here on the what's name when he was at the top of the mountain, and I was just impressed. Yeah, I was just impressed, and you know that spirit. He's a true lion right there.
Yeah. And you know, as a leader, when you see people putting in the work, it inspires you, because then you say to yourself, "Let me look within myself." You know, it was a great thing because you know I've been working on me since the beginning of this session as well. So that's awesome. That's great. All right, Brother Paul, same question for you, sir.
I'll say this. I'm gonna go back to the journey. I was a participant and coach at the same time, and you gave me all men, and I was like, I'm learning this process, and again, that made me step outside of my shell. But the men were not communicating as much. They were communicating with the super leader as far as their journal. She said, "Oh, they opening up. They're telling me everything." And okay, but in the group, it wasn't that much communication. Right. Go over to the 40-day turn up, and I say Robert Lee Parks. I would say Robert, but I had about 4 Roberts in my group.
I see him now. He's okay. All right, yeah.
Yeah, he lost. He dropped 61. I think 61.8 pounds or something like that.
All time.
No, I think
he's a legend.
Yes, he came into the group with an energy of a spirit of sharing. And when he came into the group and off rip just started opening up, like he needed this release. Everybody in the group started talking. Yeah. And once that energy was released, it made the whole, and that's when we started getting to and the group is called Man Up. At that point, we all started manning up. And once you had put out there that this was going to, once you start talking about who got first spot, second spot, my whole group was like, okay, we're killing this. So that whole thing, Robert started it off with his community. He was talking to me before the process started. He was asking questions. I was like, calm down, Robert. You okay? You're fine. That's what's supposed to happen. But he was coming to me, texting me everything before it. And once he got into the group, he did not shy. He started speaking, he started talking, and everybody else started speaking and started talking. And I told him this group is going to ruin other groups because it was so much camaraderie in our group that I don't know if it's going to be a Man Up too. I'm just
listen. There is something about men when we get together. And we're in a competitive, supportive environment. Jealousy leaves,
absolutely.
Hate leaves, envy leaves. You know, it's almost beyond words in your ability to describe what happens when brothers are together. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it kind of goes to Paul's point, you know. When Robert was opening up, just that's infectious because men need that because and the reason why, because we are the ones that everybody else is depending on. You know, our wives, our women, our children, society has trained us to where, you know, we keep our feelings to ourselves. You get over it. You be a man. You don't cry. You don't have feelings. And to be around other brothers who may have problems or pains that maybe you've gone through while I'm working on myself, and you put those two things together, that's power, man. That's TNT. So thank you for that, Brother Paul. Brother Enoch,
my guy would be Tony Jefferson. Jefferson. I dealt with him.
I remember Tony.
Yep. For as long as I know Tony, quiet. We go through the process. He called me up. Hey, what about this? What about that? He'd ask the right questions. If he couldn't do something, like he wanted to learn, and he was determined to continue on until he reached his goal. When the session was over, hey, I'm gonna keep on going. He called me up. You know, he sent me a text. This is what my weight is. This is what my weight is. He never wanted to lead a group. When I heard he was leading a team in the journey, I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" You know what I mean? So the fact that he led a team and his team did well, he has to be the one that surprised me the most, because he never wanted it. He was a leader just by walking out what he had to do. He wasn't one of those, look at me, I'm a leader. He just did the work,
Right.
and people would follow based off of that.
Absolutely.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. All right, gang. Last question. And last question. We'll start with you, Pastor Stephen. Men, and to all of you who are watching, this statement is a factual statement per the statistics of the 4-day turnup. And that is, let me see, we can put I'm gonna put everybody's mic on mute, and then I'll come around. All right. And that is, men statistically perform better than women. And what I mean by that, gang, is men's attrition is less than women, meaning when more men who start finish the process. All right. And my question to each of you is, why do you think men perform better in this specific process when compared to women? And I'll start with you, Pastor Lomax.
Honestly, I just believe, I think inward men are we're competitive, and I think once the process starts, and we just see the weight coming off, we want to actually see how far we can go. I was more apt to just keep walking, keep riding the bike, keep on sweating. I just felt like if I wasn't sweating, I wasn't getting it in. So I just think for the men, that competitive nature actually just takes over. And I know for me, just like Brother Andre, I got a card saying I was pre-diabetic before the 40-day turned up, and I refused. That scared the weight off me.
Mm-hmm.
I refused. Mm-hmm. Being competitive, I think, has a lot to do with it.
All right, Andre.
I have to agree, the competitive nature of men. And honestly, the women bring it out you too. Like, honestly, because when you see how these women, they get it in, like they get it in, and they so detailed. Like men, I'm not gonna knock the brothers, all right. But when it comes to weighing out food, we get the scale that has the 0.33, so we can get to that 0.9 without going over. Females, they are on it. They like 2 ounces is 2 ounces. So you already know, in our mind, we already know that they are amazing. Women are amazing. And so we already know that, guess what? We have to match it. Because in our mind, like I said, competitive. We have to match their intensity, because guess what? Hey, look here, let me tell you something. It don't look good if you can't hold your own weight. I'm sorry. Right. It don't look good. You got somebody next to you saying, yeah, I'm out there. Women doing ellipticals, and they doing all these things, and they doing this and that. We up there walking like this. So what we gonna do in our mind? We gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna pick up a weight, and I'm gonna start doing like this. And if I'm not doing it, I'm gonna make it look like I'm doing it. So I think it's just us. It's just us. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that's what it is. It's like we don't want to disappoint ourselves, but we also know that we have a lot of people looking at us. We have the world looking at us. We have the world looking at us. And I'm gonna tell you now, I used to be that brother that like that when I go swimming, I have a black shirt. I'm throwing black shirts away. I'm sorry. Yeah. Look, get your cameras out. Because I got a friend of mine that's in the process is already telling me, I'm gonna be too much for them to handle out there. And I say, guess what? Yeah, me too. So it's the competitive nature. As men, we gotta do what we gotta do. And guess what? We gotta lead by example. I mean, we gotta lead by example. They running there, we gotta be able to run too. So that's what it is.
So y'all hear that, ladies? Y'all bring the best out of it. That's what's up. Thank you, sir. Brother Paul.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say the same thing: competitiveness, but it's also vain and vitality. Men are vain. One thing is, I want you to look at me.
Mhm.
I want to be seen. And
Mhm.
when you start losing weight and you start getting these compliments,
Mhm.
it does something to your head.
It does.
And not only that, when you wake up and you got energy, when you go to sleep, you got energy. When you bump your girl
Energy.
and you got energy, that vitality helps. So, and once you start feeling that energy again, it's like a drug. So vein and vitality, along with I'm just competitiveness. I'm just gonna be real.
Listen, no, every man who has ever lived, who is living, and who will ever live wants his vitality until they put us in the ground. I don't care if you 200, you know, that's just fact. And you know, and the ladies, y'all want that too. So y'all, yeah, it's just facts. It's facts. All right, brother Enoch.
Co-sign everything that everybody said. Right? It's
Yeah.
competition. It's you don't want to fail. We carry it all. We carry it all. So you know, I let my wife know, hey, I'm doing the process. If I even think about doing something wrong, she calling me out on it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to prove her right. There's a I have to do it. It's the pressure. It's the competition. You got to do it. That's all.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, gentlemen, listen, this conversation that we've been able to have together has been wonderful. Brother Enoch, Pastor Stephen, Andre, Paul, I have the utmost respect and love for each of you men. It's just really a blessing to work alongside you guys. I want to thank you for what you've done in the capacity of your leadership and the lives that you've changed. And thank you so much for taking the time to be with us on this evening, on this night before the greatest day ever, Resurrection Sunday morning. So
Amen.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part. And I really, really appreciate each of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Joe.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Be blessed, gang. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, always. All right. All right, gang. What a great conversation we had. Big shout out to Brother Enoch Berluch, Pastor Stephen Lomax, Andre Goins, Paul Scott Jr. Love those guys. Utmost respect for each of them. Lastly, and certainly not least, gang, thank you all for joining us on tonight. But I got a couple of things that I want to speak to and on before we break. I've been watching you all, and for those of you who have not come through the process, feel free to stay on because you may learn something in this as well. What I have learned and what I'm seeing for you all, I've been monitoring the group. I've been monitoring you all's posts. I've been monitoring your comments, your questions, your conversations with each other. I want to talk about vacation. You guys are doing great. I'm proud of what I'm seeing. A lot of you all say, well, you know, I went out of town. I had to go on vacation. I had to travel for 4 or 5 days. I came back. I was 2 pounds larger, 3 pounds larger, 4 pounds larger. I got back on it. That's what you got to do, gang. You see what I'm saying? When you go on vacation, you're going to gain weight. It's going to happen. But you went on vacation and you did what I told you to do, which is what? Number one, move. When you're out of town, get your gut and butt in that gym. Get your gut and butt in the gym. Take a walk. And even if you're not in the gym, go on a tour. You know, like if you're near a beach, take an excursion. Something to where you're not sitting on a bus or riding a horse. Walk, run, climb. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Move. If you're in a city, go take your tennis shoes and go out in the streets and walk for 2 or 3 hours. Do it every day. You know, don't be a glutton when you go and when you have breakfast and you're eating in restaurants. And when you get back, jump on the scale, see where you are, mark that weight, right? And get back on it. And you guys have been doing it. You guys have been doing it. I see it. And I'm so proud of each of you. So keep going, keep going. All right. The next thing that I wanted to share with you all that I'm saying is Don't crash and burn after a cheat day. A lot of you all are knocking yourself over the head after cheat day. Oh God, I gained too much weight. I gained 4 or 5 pounds. I get it. Too much, but at the end of the day, you have to learn your body. That's what you're doing. This process is about learning my body, how it works, what I respond to, what my body likes, what it doesn't like. And you're constantly taking notes. You understand what I'm saying? And when you get on the scale, don't panic. Say something you don't want. Take that energy and make the adjustment. A lot of you are realizing I can't cheat all day and only gain 2 or 3 pounds. I can only do a cheat meal, or I can only do a cheat meal and a snack. Voila. Your body is telling you. Dr. Joe can't tell you what you can eat. You can't even tell you what you can eat, but your body can tell you what you can eat and what you can't. I can't do cheat meals all day. I can't do it. And many of you, watch this, are learning, well, when I cheated all day, I was gaining 5 and 6 pounds, but now that I'm doing a cheat meal, I'm doing 2 or 3 pounds. And when you gain 2 or 3 pounds and you get back on it, that weight is gone in a day or two. And then the next week, you still losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. Y'all feel what I'm saying? I taught you the game, but now you are practicing the game. You understand what I'm saying? See, it's like we pick up artists, and you've been in a 6-week crash course with the biggest pimp ever. I'm being facetious when I say that, y'all. Pimp, facetious. The biggest gamer. And I'm teaching you the game. I'm teaching you how to sweet talk them. I'm teaching you what to say, what not to say. I'm teaching you how to dress. I'm teaching you where to go, where to find them, how to text. I'm teaching you all this. And then when the conference is over, you got to go out in the streets and practice when I'm not there. That's what y'all are doing. 6 weeks, I taught you the game. You were in a controlled environment. But now you're in the real world. You got traveling, vacations, you're around family members, friends, and y'all are learning. This is the most important part, is what you're doing now. Being able to exercise discipline within an environment of freedom. Many people can't do that. If I gave my 2-year-old, if I gave my 3-year-old and my 1-year-old the house to where they can go wherever they want, we wouldn't have a house. We would not have a house. You hear me? Skylar would burn it down and Zion would help her. You hear me? You see, immaturity doesn't do well with freedom. This is why a lot of people overeat, because they got too much freedom. They can go to the grocery store. They can go to the refrigerator. They can go in their snack bin under the bed. So you all being able to have freedom, yet you got discipline. That's why I'm proud of you. That's why you're lions and legends and butterflies. Be around all this crap. I can go on vacation and still exercise the discipline and not come back a gut and butt. You hear what I'm saying? Yes. Those of you, I'm gonna say this and I'm done. Those of you who've had hiccups, you've fallen off the wagon, you done gained weight back. To all of you, 100% of you who've fallen off the wagon, you've fallen off because you did not follow my instructions that I told you. Let me tell you what you stopped doing. Weighing in. You stopped getting on that scale. The scale is your best friend. The scale is your best friend. Stay on it. gives you feedback. It tells you when you overate. It tells you when you did well. It tells you when you know you're not doing what you're supposed to do. 2, a lot of y'all are having multiple cheats. You're not adhering. You have your cheat day Thursday. I didn't gain that much. And then Tuesday will come. And then you have another little nibble, even though you dropped the weight. You see, what you're doing is you're training yourself to need that extra cheat. It's a psychological thing. And that's the goal. If you can be less every cheat day, what are you eating on Tuesday for? Stay the course. You get 1 cheat day per week. When you adhere to that, you will continue to lose weight. You will continue to progress towards your goal. You will be in the ilk of people like Pastor Lomax, Tiffany Adams, and a myriad of other people who've lost 100 pounds. Some of them lost 50, 60, 70 pounds. And a lot of these people haven't even been in the process for a year. The last thing y'all are not doing is you are not exercising. You are not exercise. You cannot be a motionless, ripped person. You understand? You have to move. You got to burn those calories. You have to exercise. Sometimes, you know, what I like to do is I've got my dedicated exercises. Today was a run and lift day for me. Me and Lynette were up this morning at 5 o'clock getting it in. I went to the church, filmed my sermon for the next time it is presented for tomorrow, came home, and instead of sitting down, I started doing yard work, doing stuff, moving, and then I clocked it. I burned an additional 400 calories. Just not moving, not sitting. If you ever look at big people, they always want to lean and sit. You understand? They lean and sit because they're too tired. And it's easier to lean and sit. But when you're living a healthy life, you have to move. When you go to the grocery store, don't circle for 2 hours trying to find a close parking space. The bigger you are, the farther your parking space needs to be so your gut and butt can walk up to the mall or to the store. You need those extra steps. You need those extra steps. Let me tell you something. To y'all who get mad when I say gut and butt, then sign off. Don't get in the 40-day turn up. I'm gonna call you all kind of names. You understand that? I am the gut and butt whisperer. I was once a gut and butt. But now I'm getting lean, baby. I'm getting lean. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I go to my closet. I just sit down and say, behold, what will I wear today? Because I can wear everything in the closet. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have a fat or thin section. I can wear it all. I can wear it all. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Because I'm getting lean. I'm getting all cut up in my neck. Look at that. Lean. I'm dropping weight like I'm 18, baby. Like I'm 18. 43, son, and I'm dropping weight like I'm 18. Who says that you can only, be 20 and lose weight? And let me tell you something about y'all. Let me tell you something about my sisters. Y'all are giving away your best years. Best years. You still got a whole lot of more sexy in you, and you giving it away. You're eating, you're big, You're not exercising. You're throwing it away, sitting around here talking about ain't no good men. Do you realize that maybe your inability to find the man you want is because that your aesthetic is not on fleek like it should be? A lot of people don't like that. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. Some of y'all got some rubbernecks in you, but you haven't become your best possible self. You still fine. 50, 60. You want to shock somebody? Be a 70-year-old fit woman and walk in the room and see what happens. What happened? Y'all don't hear me? Y'all do not hear me. You're throwing away your best years. You're throwing away your sexy, not sex, sexy. You're throwing it away because you're not living your life expressing and becoming your best possible self, ladies. I see so many young sisters, big. No. If you want a man, you got to understand that men are visual creatures. We are visual creatures. Do you understand that? Women in America have become lazy. That's no judgment on an individual, but a collective. Women are more obese than men. You understand that? And one of the reasons why is because a woman's aesthetic doesn't have the same value that it once did because our society is changing. Women are making just as much money as men. So they don't have to be out here looking to get a man to take care of them. Understand that? There's nothing wrong with a woman being independent. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that should not be at the cost of your health, of your snatched waist. You can have a snatched waist in your 80s. You hear me? You hear me? Do none of y'all want to be brick houses when you're a senior citizen? Do you? Do y'all not want to be brick houses when you are senior citizens? Do I have anybody that can give me an amen? You think that I'm just gonna let myself go? You know how sexy that is, brothers, when you in your 40s and 50s and you ripped. You got they look like you going to the gun show. Do y'all know how it is? Y'all know how attractive that is when a sister sees a brother who's in his middle age and he ain't got a dad bod. Y'all hear me? They love it. They love it. Because you ain't young and crazy. You settled, you know. You ain't a poon hound. You know? And you fit. That's like the biggest turn on. That's like the biggest turn on. Ain't nobody got no time to be out here with be having a gut and butt. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Nobody. Nobody. All of y'all sitting around saying, well, I can't have those results. I don't know if I can lose the weight. You can stay large and in charge if you want to. You understand that? But it ain't a person who's watching me who cannot be your best possible self. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that we're going to put you on the cover of Vogue. I'm not saying that. Or Sports Illustrated. But what I am saying, all of us should be on a quest to reach our best potential. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You should be able to look at your feet and not see stomach. You should be able to walk and your thighs don't rub. You should be able to get up and go up and down stairs and not feel like you are about to have a stroke. Vital. Brothers, you should be deep in your 60s and 70s and don't need no Viagra. Ladies, just because you go through menopause does not mean that your days of enjoying your sex life is over. All a lie. All a lie. We are supposed to be vital. We're supposed to have energy. We're supposed to have movement. We're supposed to be able to climb and swim and bike. If you in your 60s with your wife and you want to get in the back seat at the drop of a dime, you shouldn't have to time out taking your Viagra to do it. You hear what I'm saying? Y'all hear what I am saying? Y'all don't hear me? So to all you gut and butts, shape up. All my former gut and butts, keep on being former gut and butts until you reach your best possible self. Y'all hear me? Dr. Joe, once again, signing off. I'm glad you all taking the time to join us on tonight. Shout out to all my men who joined me in the conversation. Brother Enoch, Pastor Stephen, Brother Andre, Brother Paul, thank y'all for joining me. Thank each of you for joining me on tonight. For all you guys or individuals who are watching, you got brothers, uncles, and you feel that this process will be a good process for them, let them know that all they have to do is go to journeylife.tv, www.journeylife.tv. There is no registration. You go to Journey Life TV, you watch the video. 2,000 people watched it. Even though we don't have registration, we still got people saying, Dr. Joe, I tried to register, but I got an error message. I said, all you have to do is watch the video. I watched the video, but still I don't have an option to register. That's what they say. They inbox me. Dr. Joe, I don't know what's happening. I think it's something with my computer, but I can't get through to the registration, Dr. Joe. That's what they say. They don't listen. They never listen. Never listen. And these are the main ones that when they get in the process, like you be like, did you read the manual? Dr. Joe, I tried to read it, but I don't have chapter number 8, Dr. Joe. I think that's the reason why they gained all this weight. I don't know what happened. Oh, shit. You should hear the. I can't stop. I'm weak. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing myself. Oh God. All right, y'all, I'm gonna stop. Y'all forgive me. Oh, that's what they do. All right, y'all. Have a great Resurrection Sunday. Excuse me, real tears. We got some new episodes coming. Y'all gonna hear more about it. Love you all. Enjoy your time, your evening with your family, your friends. And I just want to publicly thank God for sending his son, for dying on the cross for our sins, that we who believe in and on him may have everlasting life. I thank God for that. Have an amazing day, gang. Love each of you. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace, family.